So on this channel, we talk about everything lifestyle as it relates to business, real estate, travel, family, fun. We just have a great darn good time, and I even cook for you every now and then too. But today we're going to be talking about real estate, and I get a lot of questions as a realtor, a licensed realtor. I've been in real estate for over 28 years, and oftentimes I get clients that find properties that are off the market, and typically those those homes are typically called for sale by owner. And so I always like to make my clients aware that it's very, very, if you're purchasing a home for someone that is not listed on the multiple listing service, which is typically called the MLS, then you really need to take some precautions into place. And the main thing that I would really share with you is a lot of for sale by owners. The reason they're for sale by owners is because they don't want to pay an agent's commission. And I like to share this point as it relates to real estate, just like any other profession, legal profession, any contracted position or profession that has to be licensed charges a fee. And so, there are a mixture of different types of realtors out there, some that are doing it just to make some extra money. And then there are some out there, realtors such as myself and many others, that utilize real estate as a career. And when you're talking about a licensed professional, you really need to be mindful that we go to school to get educated, whether it's online or sitting in a classroom. Bottom line, if we're licensed, if someone is licensed, a licensed realtor, real estate agent, then they've taken the necessary requirements by the state and the governing body in order to do the job that they are doing, selling real estate, consulting about real estate. And so I always like to let my clients know that if you're going to purchase a home for sale by owner, it's nothing wrong with that, but you need to make sure the first and foremost thing that you hire a licensed realtor. And you may ask, why do I need to hire a licensed realtor? Well, number one is because a licensed realtor will be able to do comps for you if for the house for sale by owner, because a lot of times when people list their house for sale by owner, they necessarily do not have the full valuation of the property. They're just putting it on based on a personal experience. It's their property. They have sometimes some sentimental values towards it, and they're just listing it, because they don't want to pay that commission most of the time. And they most of the time price the property extremely high because they don't know what the properties are appraising for or what the properties are worth in that locale. They don't base it on parameters like we do, and that the county assessor do on the property taxes, on the square footage of the home, the bedrooms. It's pretty much apples to apples, where theirs will be apples to oranges. Well, they'll see one that is perhaps maybe a 3-bedroom, but it may not necessarily have a 1.5 bath, where another one does, and they price their property higher, but they think their property should be the same amount as the one that is the apples to apples. So they just kind of outrange and price it at a different rate. So it's so important that you hire a realtor, and if you're in a state that uses an attorney to conduct real estate transactions, it's important that you hire either one of them. The second thing that you want to be mindful of is that you definitely want to get an inspection, because if you do not get an inspection, I've been in this situation many times before, where as an investor gone in and purchased a property, didn't necessarily get an inspection, and come to find out there were more things wrong with the house than we physically saw with our eyes. With a building inspection, you have a little bit more leverage to decide if this property is for you or not, because that person that is skilled and that is knowledge to go in to do that inspection, they can tell you if what the for sale by owner client is asking for the property, if it's worth that amount. It may need new plumbing, which can be costly. It may need a new roof, which can be costly. Cosmetic things like painting, replacing appliances and things like that. Those are pretty much cosmetic things. But when it comes to things that are expensive, like plumbing, electricity, roofing, windows, those things cost money. So if you get an inspector to come in to kind of assess the total overall cost of purchasing that property, you're a little bit more further along, more so than a for sale by owner. So even on the selling side, when I have someone and we list them on multiple listing service, I always recommend that, first of all, they possibly have an inspection, because if you have one, you're familiar and aware of what is needed for your house to sell at the price that you're asking for it. And a lot of times municipalities, they require you to do an inspection, a building inspection. They come in to do their own building inspection for your county that you're selling your house in. So that you can make sure you get an occupancy permit. And a lot of times for sale by owners don't know that. So they're selling a house that has not been inspected by the county. And when you go to purchase that property, it could have all kind of things wrong with it that the city per se, that a municipality that you're purchasing it in, did not expect to make the owner, the for sale by owner, aware that those problems exist. So there again, you have more financial liability or responsibility when you're purchasing a home with a for sale by owner. So that's why it's so important to hire a licensed realtor, because a licensed realtor attorney will know those things, that you need a building inspection, that it's good to get that inspection as well. And the last thing that I want to make you aware of, is important that you close at a title company. I can't tell you how many times that I've heard people for sale by owner, they just want to close the transaction themselves and sell you the property. So you want to be mindful of that, because it could be a lien on the property, a mechanic's lien, a financial lien. In some states, child support will put liens on property for people that own houses. And when you try to go refinance that house or even close on it, you may not have a done deal, whereas the seller for sale by owner then took your money and gone. And so it's very, very in your best interest to make sure that a title company, the purpose of using them is that they're going to do a title search on the property. They're going to make sure that there are no liens that are outstanding and that there are no issues or attachments associated with that property, so the transfer of title can come into your name. And if you don't close at a title company, all that liability really lies upon you. And as I mentioned, you may be buying a property that you don't technically own because of the liens and the attachments that are associated with the property. I mean, they pull up everything when you do a title search and hire a title company. And purchasing a property from a title company, you're going to spend, and every title company is different, but you're going to end up spending between $300 to, I would say, up to $2,000. It just depends on where you're located. And it could be a little higher than that if you're in areas such as California. And so, but those things are very important, because real estate being a tangible asset, you want to make sure that you cross your T's and dot your I's, because so many people get caught up not knowing or trying to take the cheap way out, that they get caught up with something that, again, they don't own, or that is literally a stressed out financial burden that will cost you more money than it's going to make you. So hopefully these tips help you. So just keep in mind, when hiring or when looking for properties out here, it's literally best to purchase a property that is listed on the multiple listing service. If you don't, and you find one that somebody is selling for sale by owner, the first thing you do before you do anything, it's okay to go look at the property, that's no problem. But before you make any financial commitment or any agreement to purchase a home, make sure you hire a licensed professional, whether it's an attorney or a licensed realtor, real estate agent. And every real estate agent may not know all the rules and regulations of your state if they're not a part of association. So you want to be careful with that as well. There is a difference between a realtor and a real estate agent. A real estate agent typically is not assigned to any municipality or county guidelines or bylines. They're just a real estate agent. They don't necessarily pay dues into an association to have all the legal benefits that a realtor will have. And so be mindful of that. But get a realtor or an attorney, get that inspection, and then third and foremost, close at a title company, so that you know that if anything is wrong with their property, any liens, any attachments that are associated with their property, the title company will find out, and you will be made aware of before you go to their closing table, before there's transfer of funds, so that you don't be out of luck. Okay, so I hope all of these tips helps. If this information has been valuable to you, go ahead and leave a comment below. Don't forget to check out some of my other videos about real estate, lifestyle, all of that at I Am the Nichelle. And then go ahead and click that subscribe button and let's stay connected. Okay, blessings and peace until next time. Take care. Bye.